you doing, guys? Chris at Dentless Touch. I'm here with Mark with the Perfect Pull, which is a glue pulling anchoring system, and he's designed a setup so that we can test various glues. Now, before I get started, I want to thank Anson and Mark here at Perfect Pull for sponsoring this entire video. Anson supply all the glue that's on the table, and Mark obviously designed this nice contraption. Mark, what are you calling it?
A contraption.
So that we could test different glues and the tensile strength of those glues with minimal variance between, just different. We can duplicate the situation per the glue. Obviously, the ambient temperature will change throughout the day, but we're going to try to get through this test fairly quickly so that we could kind of minimize some of the
heat and humidity variables that are going to change throughout the day. So,
thanks for covering that.
It'll still be a small enough window that it's going to be a realistic kind of, real world kind of test.
Right. Yeah. And so just to give you some context around that, this is just a shop, 85-degree day. So we're inside, but the humidity is very high, I would think.
I think we're 52%.
Okay, 52% humidity. So, and we'll have a gauge so you guys can see that as we pull, so you can see all those variables for each glue. So Mark, please tell me about what you've brought here to the shop that allows us to test these different glues.
So I just designed a post with a plate so that we can test the tensile strength with the glue tab, and also a boat winch. It's a 4,000-pound winch, so we don't have to worry about wearing ourselves out like the last time we tested all these. And the plate that's attached to the post, half of it is powder coated. It's going to be real similar to a car finish, and we don't have to worry about pulling that off. If we pull that off, that's going to be something else. So yeah, that's it.
So as Mark alluded to, that we've already done this test before. We tested about 25 different glues. Yeah. We're going back at it with this new design that he has so that we can be a little bit more consistent with the pulls. If you're interested in seeing the results of the part one, they'll be in our blog post. That will be in the link below. Also, guys, please head over to Anson, take a look at their glue selections, because a lot of the glue did come from Anson. Also, please follow Mark on IG or any of his social platforms. Give him a thumbs up for creating this machine that's going to allow us to ease our testing and allow you guys to gain, I think, a ton of knowledge from what Mark has brought to the table for us. So, anything you want to say before we get started?
Can't think of anything. So, I'm just
cool.
ready to geek out on glue, man, and see what we can see. I'm looking forward to it.
So I will say, guys, what we do, there's 3 different ways I think you could actually use glue pulling and PDR. You do have a mini lifter that you typically use, which has feet on each side. You also have a snap pull, where it would be a slide hammer. And then you have these towers that does very slow pulls, allowing you to, relieve tension down to the millimeter. So that's kind of the test that we're going to be performing here. Different glues may react differently from the snap pull. I think we can relate to that. Yeah. So this is kind of the basis of our test, kind of more of the collision, where the industry is going. Yeah. So this is kind of what we're trying to see, how well collision glue works in a collision type setting. I would think.
In a slow pull where you're going to put tension on the low and knock down the high simultaneously, which helps really attack those really large dents. Again, this is not an all-inclusive, all styles, all mechanisms that you use. I mean, because your mini lifter is going to pull one way, your bridge tools are going to pull one way, your slide hammers, different weights. We're not getting in all that. This is just a basic, slow pull, and maybe we'll expand on testing later. But this is hopefully the beginning of some
future tests.
Yeah.
As more and more glues come out, I think we got like 4 or 5 more glues on the table just this week alone. Yeah. So they're just constantly coming in, and we're going to probably be doing these tests probably yearly or quarterly or whatnot. Yeah. So we got some popular names, and I'm ready to get started.
Over 800 pounds. Woo! Golly. £1,000. Whoa.
What in the world?
Thought you said black glue didn't pull that good. So my best guess is that 80 to 90, which is why I like to pull these large tabs, is definitely a good temperature, which we're at today. It's 86. I'm letting these get 80, 89, 88. 50% humidity, depending on where you are. For us here in Virginia, that's kind of low. You know, in the southern states, I think that's going to be a low humidity. Maybe that's just what's making everything pull so high today. A lot of these weren't testing this high the last time we did this. The ratchet strap, I think, probably with the tension on, tension off, whereas this is a constant, steady pull.
Yep.
Which
I think that's what's creating these changes in numbers here.
And keep in mind, when you're pulling a fender on a car at 1,000 pounds, you're going to pull the fender off the car. You don't need all this. You don't need an electric winch. I use the ratchet strap all the time with the perfect pull.
Look at that tip.
And
I mean, this. Where are we at?
105.
Oh, I was off. It did feel warm in the middle, so
it's got a lower set temperature, probably, or a higher set temperature. Excuse me. As pretty as the last pile. I got it in the house and I love it. It sits on my desk. I just pick it up and every now and then. Well, it looks like we melted down Buzz Lightyear. Yeah, I saw it over there. It's a nice paperweight. Good memento. It's over 1,000. Uh-oh. I saw 1180. $11.88. And where do we rank? Number one. Okay. That one did better than it did last time. 100%. Yeah. Dude, has anything pulled less than 1,000? 900. close to 8. Was it 780? Oh, that was a good one. That's 12 something. Oh, bubble gum. How much? $12.60. $12.42. Woo! So it's funny how we get just like surprised both times we're here. We thought things would do better and they didn't. We thought things would do worse and they didn't.
Crazy.
It is. It's unusual. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
About 9 something.
All right, guys. We are sweaty. We're tired. Mark did all the pulling, or the winch did the
winch
pulling.
did all the
but
pulling.
You did all the lifting and setting
you did a lot
up
of
and
cleaning up and
I was in support.
purging.
I was in support.
Fantastic support.
But let's just go over some of the glue that kind of the top 5 glue. I kind of outlined, the top 5, top 6 glue. So I think number 1 was the root beer. I was surprised.
Yeah, very surprised.
But we kind of knew from our last test that it did very well.
It surprised us last time.
Warmer settings.
Yeah,
so
great glue.
I actually like their tabs. I don't know if it's the same company or the same design or developer.
I haven't used the tabs yet, but I was using them the other day, like I said, on a Subaru outside in the heat, and root beer's great snapping glue. You know, it was good for the warm weather. So I think that's why it excelled today.
And it was pretty consistent. Pretty consistent on the glue. 1220 and then 1266 is what it pulled. That was number 1. Number 2 seems to be the bubble gum.
That was
bubble
weird.
Gum glue.
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could.
But hey,
yeah. I would have thought that'd be.
The last time I tried it at home, it's been a couple of years, and it didn't do a lot for me. I don't remember. I think it was a little cooler outside, but it didn't do anything for me then. But today it sure did good.
And I think what we've noticed that the environment that we're pulling right now is completely different than our part 1 test.
Right.
It's roughly about 20-degree difference, and the humidity is definitely a lot higher today. Compared to our last test. And some of these glues that weren't even kind of like mid-range are now starting to kind of shine. And we just think it's just a better hot glue.
Environment. I think today we were 88 to 90 degrees, 50 down to 40-something, 46% humidity. I mean, that's apparently all glues' best friend, or all of these glues' like best environment. Because there's no point for us to do cold weather glues. It's just silly. You know, obviously it's not cold. They're not really designed that I've heard for this big collision or big tab work. But maybe this winter we'll do this. There's more to come.
Yep, for sure.
So we have, what's the number 1? Root beer.
So we got the root beer number 1, and then the bubble gum is 1242.
1,242 pounds.
Yeah, that was serious.
And then
we have the Power PDR, not far behind at 1230. And Power PDR, for those who don't know, they sell their own glue. I actually didn't know, but Mark brought it up. And then coming up is the Glue Tracks at 1214, which didn't do well in our last test.
Not at all.
Let's just see. We got the old notes from the last test here. Glue Tracks did 540, and to give you guys some context on that, that was about average. The most we've got on the last test was around 700, I think.
Yeah, 700.
So definitely not in the top 3, top 4 at all. Root beer did do 600 on our last test though. So go back. So they were a strong like top 5, I think it was.
And
it wasn't.
So everybody knows, we're talking 600 pounds of root beer. It was not much colder in here. It was 75 degrees, 500 degrees. The difference today is the substrate. So we're pulling on a 1/2-inch thick aluminum panel that I've powder coated. Last time we were using my old Transit Connect that had it's a heavy gauge steel, rough powder coat bulkhead or partition, but it was the metal was moving with that tab, and we would hammer it back down to get it flat. So I think that's why we were breaking off at lower weights. Whereas this zero flex, there's zero give.
We were testing out that Kiko tab, man. It held on. Did you use that? Is that the tab you used last test too?
I think so.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I thought we were going to break it today at
consistent
some point.
1,000-pound pulls on that Kiko tab. So kudos to Kiko on that.
Yeah, kudos. Hats off to. You're not going to break that one.
So the next
easily.
Carbon Tech slime, which did absolutely nothing last test. I mean, 300 I think it did last test.
It was not
350 last test.
Yeah.
And this one did 1210.
Pretty good.
That's insane.
Pretty good.
Good job on the Carbon Tech one. And then, Mark, your glue came in at 1188. Not that far behind.
Yeah.
So we're only talking about
100
50,
pounds.
60
not even,
pounds.
not even 100.
Yeah, not even 100 pounds variance. But yours was very consistent. There was some of them that were pulling 1,200, then the next pull was like 900. Wasn't that consistent.
Yeah.
But a lot of the glues, like the root beer, was 1220, and then 1266. Mark's was 1,054, and then 1188. So pretty consistent from pull after pull, and I think that matters. I don't like to say the worst glue, but I think we got to at least let you guys know what really didn't pull was the Brazilian glue. That glue was around 300 to 400. That was some of the worst glue. I don't know why.
Yeah.
We tried everything.
And again, we're to be fair, temperature and humidity is why we're going to do more tests. If that glue was designed, if I don't know anything about Brazil, but I think it's a hotter, more humid.
Yep.
We may, we were warm today, but we weren't humid at all.
Yeah.
Even for Virginia,
Feels humid for me. I don't know.
It's not that, but 46%.
Yeah,
not
on the meter
not humidity. Not a lot. But at any rate, maybe it does great in Brazil. Again, we're also pulling at between 88 and 90 degrees. Yep. That's as cool as we can get it in here. So maybe it pulls better at higher temps. So again, temperature and humidity is everything, or is not everything, but I think it's very important.
There's a lot of variables with glue pulling.
Yeah.
You want a consistent glue. You want something that has a good temperament when it comes to ambient temperature.
Yeah.
I think that's why I tend to go with the green or your glue, or even some of the road wear. I think is very consistent.
Yeah.
So I just like consistent glue.
Yeah.
You can rely on it.
Predictable. Yeah.
And so, what's another one? The Glexo, I thought, the Glexo glue, and I'm a big fan of a lot of their products.
Love Glexo. Cold glue.
Yeah, exactly. It just didn't do well here in this setting. It just 548, and that's the second lowest glue that we had here today. So, I don't know what happened there. We tried a bunch of different times to see if it pulled even any more, but it was hovering around that 550 range, and just didn't get it to bite for us. So. Other than that, anything you want to speak on?
Just another reminder that there are so many variables.
Yes.
This is an out-of-the-box test with one tab. It's kind of narrow in scope is what we're doing, but it has meaning. But keep in mind, you don't need 1,000 pounds to pull most dents from a PDR standpoint. Now, if you really want to get into that collision, you're putting on, you're getting crazy with it, then you can put a lot of pressure on a panel. You get in dog legs and things like that. You need that pull. So that's why I like to do this kind of test. But that's all.
And guys, we're going to be doing more tests like this. Try to do it every quarter. If you are a manufacturer and you have glue that you want us to test out, send them my way, send them Mark's way. And we're going to be testing up against the top 3 glues. We're also going to be doing an outside test on the top 3 or top 4 glues, just so we can see the differences working outside, even though you'll probably be under shade. we're just going to be able to see the differences, and then we're going to obviously do some cold tests.
Yeah.
Once it warms up over here, we're going to do some AC tests.
Yeah.
Just seeing when there's just absolutely no humidity in the air, in a more controlled environment. So stay tuned. This is just one of many videos. And follow Mark's Instagram. He's going to be posting stuff. Mark, what's your Instagram?
Perfect Pull Dent.
Perfect Pull Dent. Obviously follow our Instagram, Dentless Touch. Just Dentless Touch. Also, big shout out again to Anson PDR for supplying 95% of the glue that's here. And then Mark for building this, should I say it, $1,000-ish contraption here.
That's the test post.
Yeah, the test
not
post
cheap
right here. So,
but that's just an accessory for the Perfect Pull,
yes.
so that we can test, so you don't have to.
Right.
And if you want to see some videos of the Perfect Pull in action, go to perfectpulldent.com or my YouTube channel at Perfect Pull Dent, and you can see a couple of examples of what you can accomplish out there doing paintless dent repair to make those large dents small, easy dents to fix.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Mark, I appreciate you for coming out. It's a Sunday. We're sweating. We're going to get back to our wives. So again, I thank you for coming out, spending the entire day with me. And
it's been a pleasure as always, and I
geeking out on
appreciate
glue.
you geeking out on glue with me and having this nice facility, and your video production skills are
thank you,
top notch, and
I'm
grateful to you for doing this. Thank you so much.
So hopefully you guys got a ton of knowledge from this video, and we'll see you on part 3 for us, but part 2 for you guys. Peace.
Take care.
How you doing, guys? Chris at Dentless Touch. I'm here with Mark with the Perfect Pull anchoring system. Right?
Perfect Pull anchoring.
All right, this is a tongue twister.